I almost forgot there even was a Samurai Shodown animated movie. I might have seen maybe an ad for it somewhere at some point, maybe a YouTube clip from a long, long time ago, or when I had one of the like anime DVDs I rented or something like that. Maybe I saw it back then or something like that. But in any case, before I begin the review, a big, huge disclaimer. You see this face? You see this character? Ukyo Tachibana. I don't recall him missing a single Samurai Shodown numbered game. He might have missed some of the other ones, but he ain't in this movie. Might be a deal breaker for some of you. So, that's all. Leave now. Other than that, I'll begin the review. The movie starts with a battle between the Shogun's forces and some rebels. Already very quick cuts to 6 corners of the globe, all experiencing earthquake. Zzz. Phenomenon, not the character. Nakaruru, Tam-Tam, Wan-Fu, Charlotte, Galford, and Haomaru, or as the dub calls him, Hamaru. Yeah, a lot of mispronunciation over here. It's like Ryu and Ryu. Oh wait, no, that's a Street Fighter animated movie. Got it right, not the live action. But yeah, it's Ambrosia, and Hamaru is the first to arrive and sees that it's Amakusa that's responsible for breaking the seal. Amakusa being another holy warrior, so there's 7 total. Hamaru calls him Haumaru. That's going to be weird. Maybe Hamaru is easier to just run through. Ugh. It's like, you're a traitor for breaking the seal. Amakusa, who is female in this movie, by the way. Not sure if just a dub thing. Maybe it's like a Zoocyte situation, back then, early 90s anime. Schools all 60 other heroes. They arrive just in time just to get worked over by a magic sword and about to strike them down when they turn into these 6 big red balls and scatter all like Dragon Balls. As Amakusa tries and fails to take them, I guess just to turn them evil as well. But Amakusa mentions, in 100 years they will return. Title drop! So far it seems to be the case. Homaru, our protagonist, stopping a rampaging bull barehanded. We see Wan-Fu, Charlotte, Galford along with Poppy, of course, which he calls Puppy in this. So then another weird dub thing. They find Hamaru schooling folks at a samurai dojo. He's got the whole, I beat your dojo's master, so your sign belongs to me as proof of my conquest trope. Say he's a dojo destroyer. The 3 others seeing this believe, this can't be the guy. I'm sure they've seen him before, but as the movie reveals later on, I guess everyone's memories is maybe we were mistaken. Poppy sniffs him out and knows who he is, but Galford's like, I guess you were wrong on this one, Poppy. Meanwhile, Amakusa has her army. Took 100 years just to get random mooks. That or she's waiting for the 6th to return and squash him for true this time. She has this retainer named Yoshimune, who gets that Yu Yu Hakusho name tag. It's like, here's his name, here's what he is. Is a Tokugawa shogun. Yeah, pretty much strong-armed into the, Amakusa ruling by intimidation and fear, and Yoshimune just kind of along for the ride. Along with his Slogger and Gaiban of this, Earthquake and Geinan Shiranui. Amakusa senses someone eavesdropping on their conversation. It's Hanzo Hattori. So off he runs. Amakusa's like, he can't do anything. Let him run. Over to where Jubei and Kyoshiro are waiting. Hanzo's got one of those weird filters when he talks, so he sounds like this. Which admittedly sounds weird at first, but then you gotta remember ninjas are very secretive about themselves, and, Hanzo being very classic ninja. You never see his face or anything, so having a voice changer to make sure no one can detect what my real voice sounds like. It's 90s cool, and I kind of a backstory explained it, so yeah. But Hanzo tells them it's soon time to rally as Kyoshiro and Jubei. We need to find those other holy warriors. He mentions Amakusa fears their very presence, so if we get to them, we can turn the tide and win. Hamaru gets together with some kids and amazingly swats an entire nest of hornets away. Oh, the dubbing is getting worse and worse in this movie. I can't really, Like, one of the kids is like, "Hey, Hamaru, can you do something about the hornet's nest?" That was so bad it made me sneeze. But yeah, Hamaru's got mad skills, but of course, gotta have our comic relief moment, so it's just enough to, like, one boosting, and he's like, I got, it's like, oh. He runs off and to his nearby neighborhood where he lives with his mom. As he runs into another woman, I'm looking for my son Goro, have you seen him? He's like, no. But, plot moves on. He's missing, and he ain't the only one. Mamoru cautions her son as he leaves to, like, think, oh, hey, there's this bear outside. Go kick his ass, or whatever. And then earthquake happens. This time the character, not the... Along with the Amakusa soldiers to burn down a nearby village. Shockingly, the woman looking for Goro shows and, like, she throws a rock at one of the soldiers. It hits the helmet and reveals a clearly, like, brainwashed, like, pupils dilated, like, very... Bleh. It's Goro, who just straight up murders her. Hamaru arrives to have a sword clash with Goro. Have Goro's sword break. The end magically flies into Earthquake's massive gut. So, doink! And, like, pulls it out. It's like, alright, I'm stepping in. Uses the chain to grab Goro and throws him into a rock. I'm like, it's not his fault, dick. Earthquake moved very fast for his speed. He does get, like, his rolling move isn't, like, really slow. It's just, like, he's very Sonic the Hedgehog. Or kind of like Master Asia, where it's like the rolling thing, but his head's always visible. He does actually get Hamaru in the chain, too. And through this, Hamaru's like, remembering. He gets a flashback to 100 years ago as he just starts glowing red. I guess that's supposed to be the rage meter? But it allows him to start a huge Senpu Retsuzan, which is his tornado move, to stop Earthquake the Hedgehog's rolling attack, and goes all heavy slash on him to just take him down. Hamaru's still all raged up, and he runs through all the soldiers too, just takes them all down as a nearby Nakaruru and Tam-Tam just happen to arrive to witness it. Like, no backstory for the other 5, huh? Just gonna be the Hamaru show, I guess. I'm like, oh well, main character's got a main character. How Mamoru gets it too, and reveals, like, I found you as a boo-boo with your sword by your side, and go fulfill your destiny. Basically. Like, literally, like, go fulfill your destiny or whatever. It's something like that. Like, literally that word. She says destiny. But yeah, everybody arrives as Hamaru, still angry, believes the rest of them to be like, hey, you're with them, I'm going to start swinging at you now. And through fighting them, he continues to get flashbacks, but not fully remembering it. The past is a little bit more revealed. There's a lot of flashbacks in this movie. Amakusa died in a past battle, but offered herself to Ankokushin. They say ambrosia maybe once or twice. Mostly it's this dark god that's mentioned, and I know in Japanese it's literally that dark god, Ankokushin. Hamaru's rage still burns as he runs off to get revenge, and the other holy warriors just gotta give chase, and they're stopped by Geidon and some more soldiers. Goffert's like, yeah, go on, I'll handle this. So he easily plasma blades some of the soldiers as Poppy surrounds himself with fire and just barrels into Geidon, knocking him down. He's like, well, that's my cue to leave.
That was easy.
Jubei witnesses that fight, and he's like, oh, hey, I'm a Shogunate member, but I don't fight for Amakusa. Amakusa just straight up took over, and it's like, we're gearing up to take him down. You win? I was like, yeah, cool. I'm glad, they ran into the Holy Warriors, yeah. Well, some of them. Hamaru's cut down soldiers more as he arrives at closer to where Amakusa's at. The other warriors show off all their awesome attacks, too. Galford, Poppy, and Jubei arrive shortly after Hamaru's being led right into a trap by a woman. She's like, oh, hey, Amakusa's this way, come on. Like, he saves the woman, but it's like clearly leading into him, and Charlotte's like, I must follow him for whatever reason. I guess, like, the girl he's like, alone he cannot win. And now Amakusa uses a crystal ball to fight. That's like the small one-handed one, though, so it's not the actual, like, Palenque stone. Well, it didn't really matter, because Tam-Tam gets, like, nobody else gets any like background or something. They're just there. They're just like, oh, these are the corners of the globe. That's their character, and it's just like, we must team up to defeat Amakusa. Sorry, it's my horrible Wan-Fu. The other warriors get dropped in, and they're already caught. It's like, I'm already reunited with the six from 100 years ago. Collapses the old caster for this newer, more eviler looking hideout. Yu Yu Hakusho title drops in again. Bam. It's the Fortress of Ankokushin. Ambrosia with a J. Ambrojia. Ambrosia. I'm like, good spelling. I know that I looked up the wiki and I'm like, nope, it clearly spells Ambrosia with an S. Now, Amakusa feeds Hamaru's rage as she reveals, I broke the seal so I wouldn't be tied down to mortal failings, the usual shonen shit, friendship, love, blah, blah. But yeah, she's getting, you getting mad, Hamaru? Yeah, you getting mad? Yes, kill me and fulfill your bullshit, whatever. Yeah. I killed your mom, shit lips. The trapped warriors is like, oh hey, we can do our rage power too. Why don't we just do that and break free of this thing? And somehow use it to create a portal for Charlotte and Hamaru to escape through? Our magical MacGuffin powers that we have inside her. So yeah, they escape. Those two arrive at the village where the kids are. And it's like, we hid when the soldiers came, and so we didn't, but we saw the whole thing from far away and we were powerless. And but now Charlotte's is like, I must tend to Hamaru. While Hamaru inside fighting his inner rage as Amakusa tried to from inside like his dream or something like that. He's like, I'm going to tempt your rage even more. It's like, revealing betrayal is human nature. One of my own peasants I tried to save back in an earlier battle attacked me, so in my rage I broke the seal of Ambrosia for revenge. She reveals much the same in someone Hamaru. Hamaru was tailing this guy earlier. He's like, oh, hey, you're what's-his-name, so-and-so, this character. And character, runs off. He's like, He's the one who led Earthquake and the soldiers to the village. He tries to like, hey, you promised you wouldn't burn my house down. And Earthquake just murders his ass. It's like, oh, that's your house? No. I'm gonna stab you now. And then the girl I mentioned, too, while saving fighting soldiers, led him right into said trap I mentioned. Charlotte, having tended to Hamaru's physical body, she's like, I'm going to go soul transfer and try to reason with him inside his mind. Where the fuck was all this other thing? Just, Pound Meter just does everything in this fucking movie. It's like, yeah, it's one of... I'm like, okay, we're moving along for the sake of just... it's fucking Hamaru's world, we're all just... living in it, but we use our magic MacGuffin powers to do whatever the fuck we want. Fine. Yeah, it's one of those movies. Yeah. She gets blasted away as Genon's back to close in real time. Hanzo arrives with his own ninja sect and some other warriors to hold them off in the meantime. Charlotte saying, the children, they call for you to save them. Her words do eventually break through, just as Genon breaks in. Hamaru wakes just in time to fight Genon and splits him in two like he was hot butter, like that. Okay, one of the things you actually do keep... They start off bleeding white, like when Earthquake gets stabbed by the thing, and Hamaru does take down that barrier and then runs to their village. He takes him down. They bleed white like it's a real bout Fatal Fury. And then, the other half of the movie, and now they start bleeding red. I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? Were they in a rush as the dub was for this? Is this whole movie just rushed? I think so. That's what that definitely feels that way. But yeah, after he kills him, he's like, oh, hey, Charlotte, hey. It wasn't for you. I'd have been done like dinner, so I apologize. I thank you. I now remember everything. Let's all team up to take down Amakusa. So they break through the barrier and with their... It's like, we're going to be an orb. Now our rage powers lets us turn into this purple orb thing and break through. And lets them easily free the other 4 trapped holy warriors. Man, does Charlotte get easily distracted in this movie. She's saved 3 times in this fucking thing. Twice in one battle! When they're first arriving in their battle for Amakusa, it's Poppy and Galford the first time they arrive, and it's just like, oh, hey, you're getting... And then now one here with Hamaru helping to dodge Amakusa's blast. More people are getting their attacks in, like, on the ground floor. It's like Jubei and all his guys are coming in. Jubei just starts, I think he starts doing an attack, but it just ends up like, he starts speaking in tongues and warbling or some shit. Like he's But yeah, they're fighting Amakusa's forces on the ground floor, which gives Hamaru enough like push to be like, okay. I'm like, anime trope bullshit. I'm gonna stick my blade in Amakusa, and once again, the blood's red. Like, again, you can show a bear gets stabbed, but the blood was white, like it was real about Fatal Fury. And so, well, we still got a couple movie left, so Ambrosia, leave Amakusa's dying body, and now he attacks the other 6 warriors as the battle on the ground floor is won by the good guys. Amakusa from beyond the grave is, apologetic. He's like, here, take my sword and use it to turn the tide to slay Ambrosia and split the Dark Fortress like so much Genon. Hanzo telling the Shogun after the fight, the Shogun that once worked for Amakusa, what happened here could happen again, as we get like their usual. It's like, okay, battle's over, time to rebuild everything. Yeah, the Shogun that was working for them earlier, he's like, where have the holy warriors gone? Will they always be out there to protect us? Only the end credits answers question. Well, not really, but... And that's the movie. So, let's see. Anime trope. Main character does everything. Like, he kills Earthquake. He kills Genon. He kills Amakusa. He kills Ambrosia. So main character just does it all by himself. There's a female character in there that's largely ineffectual. Like, if you're, like, Unkyo not being in there is one thing. He wouldn't have saved this train wreck of a fucking movie. This is a shitty low-budget Dragon Ball Z movie with Samurai Shodown characters in it. I don't know, fighting had its, like, it was boring for a while, and it, like, let up, but it's still, I enjoyed watching a portion of it when Ryu Haku Todo was on screen, especially the Wrecking Ball thing. Like, he was the best character there. In this, the only character I can give the best to was Poppy, simply for trying to find Hamaru quicker to move this lame movie along and end it faster. The worst character is Charlotte for getting distracted 3 times. As far as hype moments, it barely counts, but just Poppy setting himself on fire, just surrounding himself, just going, and just gut-checking Genon, and he's like, oh fuck, I got hit by a giant dog in flames, I'm getting the fuck out, let's go, and they just run off. That I liked. It's just been like a really bad kung fu movie. Like, if you took the Samurai Shodown characters out and just, it wouldn't really be too much difference. It vaguely follows the plot. Well, not really vaguely, but there's just very little meat on the bones, so to speak. Yeah, I did not care for this movie at all, so, again, if I sped through the movie did much the same here. Maybe the funniest moment was, like, just Genon literally going, kick, and running off at one point. I'm like, yeah, okay. And then Jubei with the warbling. But that was more, like, incredulous than anything. Like, I was like, let's just get to the end of this so I can do my review. I think this is it for SNK. I know they did the live-action King of Fighters, which is, like, way, way later, but I think for, like, animated stuff, that's pretty much it. And I don't want to pull a pin on the live-action grenade. It's coming, but to start with King of Fighters, nah. With that said, take care, and thanks for watching.